Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
And take us along with you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy Labor Day. I want to say good morning to Rosa and to Katrina and to Ron and Henry and to Carl and Sister Fedora and Miss Farmer and just all of you. I hope that you've been enjoying this weekend. I want to have my co-host Al Martin say a few hellos to those he wishes.
Absolutely, Theo. It is a pleasure once again being here with you. And hello to all of your viewing audience.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning and happy Labor Day.
Absolutely. You know, speaking of Labor Day, it began in 1886, I would say, the protest against the mistreatment of employees. And actually, I read somewhere that it was really a worldwide issue that was going on, but here in this country, there were mild protests until the police decided they hadn't had enough action, I guess.
Well, Theo, it is so interesting, but you're right, it was in 1886, and one of the riots that occurred was as a result of a protest in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And the police decided that the peaceful protest was not what they wanted to see. So they turned it into what was identified as a violent riot by beating up on the protesters. And of course, the protesters were not just going to take it.
Right.
So they decided that they would fight back. And it is unfortunate, but that's a part of our employment history in our country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Always some kind of civil disturbance over various issues. And it seems like the Republican Party is trying to start a civil war in this country as well. But, you know, it's just amazing that there is no understanding of the needs for food, clothing, and shelter. And I couldn't help but wonder I didn't have time to look it up, but I couldn't help but wonder the amount of hourly wages that the police were getting. You know?
You know, I don't know, and it's some research that we're going to have to do, to research just how the compensation and the wages of police officers stacked up back then compared to the management and ownership of various companies. But here you had a working class population that merely asked for fair payment for their services, and employers who were more concerned about maximizing their profits and not wanting to pay the people who were creating the products that gave them their profits.
Right, right.
So it's kind of interesting that we have this kind of a situation between workers and business owners and management, when all of the workers are saying is, give me fair compensation for the labor that we put out to produce your product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's still going on today. And in the various industries, their concern is their own bonus and the amount of money that the stockholders are making.
That is very true, Theo, and unfortunately, in many instances, that is the number one priority versus the customer relations that should be in place and the relationship with the people, the workers who produce that product. And, interestingly enough, there is enough profit that it's to be shared with the workers so that you don't have to let greed take over. Sharing becomes really the operative word.
Right. And there's a different kind of issue on the political scene. And I was hearing some information here recently that those elected make $30,000 a year, and I thought $30,000 a year just didn't sound right. But they have to raise millions in order to campaign.
That's correct.
To get that position. So, if you have to raise millions, now if you're only going to make $30,000 a year, when you get in office, you're going to have to continue your fundraising so that you can pay off the debts that you incurred while you were campaigning.
That is very true, and it is so interesting, Theo. For instance, over in Canada, you have government-sponsored elections. Here we are in the United States, where you have candidates who have to raise money. And in many instances, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some instances, millions of dollars, depending on the position for which you are running. And it's interesting that our system is one whereby dollars can come, and in many instances, we don't necessarily know where these dollars are coming from.
Right. Yeah, because we know that people can be bought in many different areas, and the governmental areas happens to be one of them. And now that they have the PACs that can receive money and not report where they come from, so that makes it even more dangerous, because we know in the past that we've had other countries interfering with our elections.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And the Supreme Court entered into it a few years ago, and they issued an opinion basically that says that financing campaigns was a form of freedom of speech. So it is constitutional. That is their opinion, which is really quite interesting. But I think many times we talk about campaign finance reform.
Yes.
And Theo, I think that is what is needed in our society in order to get control of spending on campaigns, which right now is just outrageous.
Oh, yeah. And then just to think about that, because there are those who can outraise other candidates, and the not necessarily the best candidate who raises the most money.
Absolutely correct.
So anyway, we're looking forward to interviewing the candidates who are campaigning for the United States Senate.
Yes.
And so far, there's two. Hill Harbor is a candidate running for the United States Senate, and he has announced, and also Slotkin, I don't remember her first name, but anyway, she's campaigning. But the way the media plays it, they are really not helpful for voters. They're leaning towards one way or another, and they let you know it, you know. So anyway,
Yes, they do.
we have to really be concerned and get on with our analysis and investigation of who's running where and when, and get an opportunity to talk to them, and any opportunity that we can to determine who we want to vote for.
Theo, that is absolutely correct, and it is critical that we as voters do our due diligence. Let's learn as much as we can about the platform, the records of those candidates that are asking for, number one, donations, and number two, asking for our votes.
Exactly.
And let's make sure that while during the campaign, we do our research to gather the data that is going to give us a very clear indication of what this candidate, this individual who is the candidate, has done in the past for the community, what their plans are for the community, how they're going to go about performing those and developing those plans. And the media will definitely try to influence that vote. There's no doubt about it. That is a part of what they do. And they do it in many different and innovative ways. But we have to be very vigilant ourselves in gathering the data that will make us informed voters.
Right. I just want to let everybody know that just because someone has raised the most money, i.e. the ex-president, every time he comes on TV or gets arraigned at the sheriff's department or somewhere by a prosecutor, they keep telling us he raises more money. But just because he may have more money does not mean that he is good for us by any stretch of the imagination. Anyway, I dare not mention his name. But we have a guest with us this morning by the name of Euresha Johnson. And would you say she's a teetotaler?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Would you tell the viewers who is Euresha Johnson?
Yes, so Euresha Johnson is an educator, a mother, but also a business owner and a creator. And so I'm excited to be with you today to share about my business. And also I'm hopeful to inspire other people to be on their health journey, whatever that might include. And I'm hopeful that it will include tea, consuming tea.
Tea is a enjoyable product and also a medicinal product.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have a location that you could share with us?
Yes. So I've been in business now for over 15 years, and we're online. And so you can find us at herbalserenity.com. But we are also at various farmers markets. We participate in various shows, churches, schools, throughout the community, festivals. And so you're likely to see us really anywhere around the state. But you can always purchase our products at herbalserenity.com.
Well, Hood Research is hosting an ice cream social this Friday at the Montford Marines Center, which is located on Joy Road, just past Schaefer, 13721 Joy Road. And we'll have a few vendors if that's something that you're interested in.
I would love to learn more about it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, tell us about the tea products, your favorite, your best, what you recommend, and all
Okay. So best, I think, is whatever you sample. When we're out doing direct sales, we are always giving people samples for folks to try. And really, whatever we're sampling, that seems to be the best seller. My favorite is Good Goodness. Good Goodness is a mineral-rich blend. I used to call it Gratitude. It's like my daily ritual. I drink it every day. It's rich in minerals. It's rich in antioxidants. So it has moringa, nettles, alfalfa, elderberries. I have a daughter who has sickle cell disease, and so she was a year old when I started the business. And so I was trying to think of ways, we hear what the doctor says, but innately we know that there are things that we can do at home, that we can do and lean into in terms of our grandparents and our family, about their traditions for supporting us in terms of our health. And so with that in mind, I just did my research and learned about some herbs that would be helpful to support her. And so that's why I drink Good Goodness. Again, I drink that one every day, and it's just a really nourishing blend. I think also, just thinking about teas, and I'm naming its medicinal value, and that's typically why people are leaning into teas, and we should. We want to stay hydrated. It's a beautiful way to do that. It's a magnificent alternative to a lot of, even the power drinks that are out there that's supposed to give you energy, those energy drinks rather, and pops and sodas and things like that. So it's a wonderful alternative for that reason. But additionally, when you stop and drink tea, you think about this fast-paced world. We're always running, we're going, we're working, we got kids, we got school. But when you make tea, you got to boil some hot water, which requires you to take your time, to slow down, to be patient. And so for me, drinking the tea is not just nourishing my body, but I feel like it's nourishing my soul, because it gives me a moment just to stop and reflect on my day, to think about all the things that I need to attend to think about the things I want to achieve. Who do I need to be today? I feel like taking the time to boil the water, to brew the tea, to take those sips can be comforting, can be healing, but also provide an opportunity for reflection. And so I really appreciate tea for that reason as well. And Good Goodness is one of my favorites.
Now,
but there are many others.
Well, do you give that to your daughter who has sickle cell?
Yes.
She drinks it every day?
She doesn't drink it every day. She's 16, so it's a struggle. But, you know how that is. But what I do with that tea and with many others, you can make them cold. And so adding some lemon to it, adding agave or some other sweeteners, to make it more enjoyable for our young people is something that I do as well.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it has been very helpful.
Okay. Black tea is a tea that I discovered, and I happen to like it.
Yes.
Does it have medicinal benefits?
Absolutely. All tea leaf products, and I'm be honest, most of my teas, not all, I have several black teas that I blend, but most of my products are herbal blends. But all tea leaf products, which comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, so black tea, green tea, white tea, oolong tea, they all come from the same plant. They're rich in antioxidants, all sorts of health benefits that are associated with tea leaf. So absolutely, if you're drinking tea every day, you're going to be getting immune support, essentially. So if you do get a cold, you're taking in those antioxidants every day. It's going to support you with, maybe if you get a cold, maybe you won't be sick as long, or maybe you won't even get that cold because you've built up your immune system. Yeah. And in addition to that, the reason why I really love leaning into the herbal blends as well is because there are all sorts of other medicinal values that you can get. So, for example, ginger. We do a lemon ginger blend, which is delicious. We know that ginger is anti-inflammatory. It can also support digestion. So it's a wonderful blend. We also create a blend. We call it Dreamer. A lot of people have anxiety, and so this tea we've infused with red bush, rooibos, which is rich in antioxidants. It's originally from South Africa. But we also include Tulsi, which which is holy basil, which is an anti-inflammatory and also rich in antioxidants, but also supports with reducing stress and anxiety. And so if you need to take like the medication from the doctor, not telling you not to take that, but if you want some alternatives to that, then leaning into these medicinal teas or leaning into teas in general can just be really beneficial for you.
There are two, you say, that are anxiety preventers? Or
Yes, several
and
teas.
which ones are those?
So my blend, we call it Dreamer, but it's rich in green rooibos as well as holy basil is the herb that I'm centering in that tea.
I see.
But there's also others. We do a rosemary blend, which also supports in that way. That's one thing that's also great about teas. You know, you go to the doctor, this medicine does that. But when you're drinking teas and you're taking in these natural nutrients, they can attend to all sorts of other things. So it's going to support you with building your immune system, but it can also support you with reducing stress. It can also support you with your cardiovascular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what for those who are tuned in who may not know what an antioxidant is,
Yes.
to let them know what
Yes. So
antioxidants are.
antioxidants basically attack the free radicals in your body. So free radicals are can cause disease in the body. So the more antioxidants that you're taking in, you're basically allowing your body to attack those things that can cause disease, that can cause harm to the body. So that's what antioxidants do. They reduce those free radicals in the body.
Okay, now is there a particular herbal tea that fights cancer? Because cancer seems to be relentless.
Yeah.
Actually, I've read a number of times that it has been cured, but there's so
Yes.
much money to
Yes,
be
yes,
made.
yes.
You know, so
Yeah.
is there a particular tea that
Yeah.
you would?
So I would argue that the Camellia sinensis plant, people typically lean into green tea, but the herbs that I'm lifting up, like moringa, could also be helpful. Anything that's rich in antioxidants could support you in that way. But I would also lift that tea is just one part of it. And your nutrients that you're taking in, that's just one part of what you should be doing to support your body, right? So we know that movement is also medicine. So we need to be exercising. We also, that's why I'm lifting up the issue around stress. We want to be mindful about what we're thinking about. So it's a number of things that we want to be doing. Drinking our teas, taking in those nutrients is just one aspect of our health, and so we want to make sure that we're doing that. But in addition to that, I'm hopeful that if we take that step, then we're also going to be taking a step and thinking about, let me go walk today. Let me take some time to just sit back and relax today and be thoughtful and possibly meditate or just be in the space of gratitude, because we know that anxiety and stress can also have an impact on disease in our bodies as well. So I would argue that, yes, there are teas that can support us in that way, but it should be a part of your whole health regimen to support you.
Yeah, you have a question.
Ms. Johnson, I am just sitting here amazed at the names of your teas. Dreamer is one that just that really caught my attention.
Yeah.
Are you responsible for naming your teas?
Yeah, that's one thing. So yes, when you have a business, you're creating, you get to, make up whatever you want to, call it what you want to call it. So yeah, I call it Dreamer, and not just because it can help you sleep, because it can, but also for us to be thinking beyond where we currently are. So I want you to dream beyond your current reality. What might you like to experience? And I think that the one with the Dreamer has a holy basil, and it can support us around decreasing stress. And what I want to lift is that I think that when you're stressed out, you don't always have the ability to dream. You don't always have the ability to think about what might be next for me. But if you can reduce that stress, if you're able to calm yourself and to set that aside, well, then you can dream about where you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have, what you want to create. And so that's why I call it Dreamer. Because, I want to support people in creating that space where you can be dreaming about, all the possibilities.
Now, with your teas, you mentioned earlier sweeteners.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
do you use a lot of sweeteners,
So,
sugar? How do you do
I'm
all
to a
that?
point now, like when I drink my tea, I don't put any sweetener in it. That's just me. Like the goodness, I did add like berries to it, which I think gives it a nice sweetness. And like the Dreamer has holy basil, has a natural sweetness to it, which is delicious. I love it. However, we in America, I know what it is. So like when we do samples, I'll put in some agave nectar, and people typically appreciate that. It's low glycemic, so people who might be struggling with high sugar or insulin issues, it slowly absorbs into the bloodstream, so that's a nice alternative. But there are other things. People do palm sugar. And my mom would just name me as we came in, I'm going to say it wrong, monk fruit? I think it's monk fruit sugar. So all sorts of different ways. And then stevia, of course. I have put dried stevia in some of my products. But for me, stevia has a little aftertaste.
Yes.
So that's why I don't lean into it as much. But again, there's a lot of different things that we can do to sweeten our teas without using processed sugar.
Right.
Now, are there times when you may also use natural honey?
Absolutely. I do use honey, absolutely. And I love natural honey. Yeah, definitely. There are some shows that we do, like we used to do the Veg Fest, and so we couldn't have any animal products. So that's when I used to sweeten my teas with honey when we used to sample it initially. But they were like, no, you can't have honey. So after that, we started looking at other things. So yeah, but yeah, I love honey, and that's really good too, full of nutrients as well. Yeah.
I had green tea once, and I sipped it, and I'm like, ugh. So I
Yeah.
decided to add lemon and sugar.
Yes.
It didn't help.
It didn't help.
It did not help. The next time, I said I'm going to try green tea. Well, if lemon doesn't help, I must need to put milk in it. So I put milk and sugar in it. That
How
was
did that
even
work?
worse.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
okay.
third time I tried green tea, I said, okay, I'm not putting anything in this green. And I've been drinking it just plain ever since. Not a problem. Green tea is, it's good for you. So I got over that.
Good, yes. But
then-
I get it. A lot of people struggle with that, definitely.
There's a tea I had. It's peach. Peach and
Peach Tranquility or-
something mixed together.
Okay.
I don't know, but it tasted good. It was different.
Oh, nice. Okay. I do a lavender blend with peach, and then a lavender black blend with peach, which is delicious. We also do it with just peach and black tea. So yeah, I love fruity blends, and that's actually how I started, really centering like fruits and herbs, because
Yeah.
that was what I knew my kids would enjoy, and that's what I preferred actually over tea leaf products.
Well, that's okay. That's good to meet you, because I've
Nice to
not
meet
been
you,
able
too.
to find peach tea around this city. Nevertheless,
Okay,
it's
well,
time
I
for
gotta
us to
bring you some.
take a commercial break. And for those of you who are tuned in, get your cup of tea or your coffee or your milk. Call someone, tell them to turn on and learn about Euryshus Johnson's tea. And we'll be back momentarily.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome our first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Our wooden woman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
And we have returned. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. Yeah, we have some callers on the line, I'm told. Wonderful surprise, by the way. Happy Monday. Hello. Okay. We try the other one. Okay. Happy Monday.
Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, the lady that has the tea, that's great. This
You
is
Richard
James Ford
Johnson.
of the Obama weekend. I would appreciate you bring some of that tea over to a big rally that we're going to have at the Kimony Recreation Center this Thursday. Going to be dealing with the traffic lights and red light running in this city. We're having over 24,000 accidents a year. I'm going to make this very short. The meeting will be at 6 o'clock this Thursday, Kimony Recreation Center, which is at 2260 4th Street. It's very important. We would like you to attend, express your concerns, and let's try to work together as a city and get a city ordinance to stop this. Thank you for letting me speak. God bless everybody. 6 o'clock Thursday, 2260 4th Street. God bless you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah,
Look that up.
that red light issue is very serious. People are having accidents, and I'm amazed at the speeding that goes on. For one, but to go through a red light is just ridiculous, you know.
It is something that has been happening, Theo, recently, and I believe that Mr. Ford has really been calling attention to what is a real problem and what could become a very serious problem when people fail to adhere to traffic laws and when they run red lights. It becomes very dangerous in our streets. So his efforts to try to cut down on this type of activity, I think, can only be positive for our city. So a Thursday night where people might be able to participate in learning more about tea and the tranquility that it brings, I think would be wonderful.
Definitely going to look into it, because I have had experiences where certain parts of the community where when the red light changes, it's green, you don't even go. You just wait, because you know people are going to be coming through. So I absolutely get that. I think that's great.
Right. Yeah. It's just a question. Why is everybody in a hurry? And another thing, for the people who stop at a red light, they speed. They want to get in front of you, just to get to the red light to stop. I always thought that was kind of silly, Yeah. But now, I want you to give your number.
Sure.
And how people can access the teas. And they can call you, of course, and ask more information about the best ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Let's do that now.
So to find us, always online, herbalserenity.com, HerbalSerenita.com, Herbal Serenity. To call us, to contact us, you can call at 248-842-5462, 248-842-5462. In addition to that, we are excited to create custom blends. So if it's something special that you want, I remember I had a customer who was looking for sassafras fruit, which I hadn't heard of before. And so I was able to get that for him. So if there's a herb that you're looking for, you're interested in, or you would like blended with some other things, please let us know. We would be happy to create for you as well.
Oh, okay. Now, back up to this email. Serenity.
Yes.
Spell that.
Yeah, we're trying to be fancy.
I'm like, wait a minute.
How do you spell serenity?
Serenity.
Yeah, so instead of T-Y, S-E-R-E-N-I-T-Y, it's S-E-R-E-N-I-T-E-A.
That is cool.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you were going to say?
The packages, Ms. Johnson, that you have in front, now is that how your tea arrives?
Thank you.
What people would be familiar to see.
Yes, thank you for asking. So our teas are all loose, but we do sell bags and all different types of infusers that you can use. But our teas come loose, dried packages. You get 1.75 ounces in our packages, which will make 15 to 20 cups of tea, depending on how strong you want your tea to be. And while we do have these bags here, the majority of our bags are in these brown paper bags, which are biodegradable. And so in addition to thinking about our health, we want to think about the health of the planet. And so we really try to use products that won't have such a huge, imprint on the on our environment.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell us about some of the additional teas.
Sure, yeah. So I have a cherry fruit blend that we make, and that's like when you ask what's the most popular, that really is an extremely popular blend. We now call it, though, Bless Your Heart. It's still our cherry blend, but we've added hawthorn berries to it, and already had hibiscus. Which is rich in antioxidants, but also helps with our cardiovascular. And hawthorn berries does the same. And so we want something delicious and yummy, but we also want it to support us in a multitude of ways. And so the Bless Your Heart does that. So that's one of our blends.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. So we get to come up with the names.
Yeah. Okay.
I have Amina's Pineapple Mango. That's a black tea blend. It's really, really delicious. With black tea, pineapples, and mallow blossoms in it. We also do natural flavoring in that blend as well. Also delicious for people who prefer tea leaf products. We have organic ginger. Oh, yeah.
Wait. You said it has something in it.
Blossoms. It's like a the blossoms. Is that what you?
No, the one you just finished. It had what in it?
Black tea.
Yeah.
Pineapple pieces. I said mallow blossoms as well.
Right there.
Yes.
What is mallow blossom?
So it's just a flower. And we add it not for its medicinal purposes, but because the tea is all black, the mallow blossoms give it a different color. So it gives it like a little pinkish color. So when you look at the tea, I wish I had, it's not up there, but when you see it, you will see that instead of it just being just all black and the little yellow pieces, there are little pink flowers in it as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that I did talk to someone once, it's been quite a while ago, who said there are flowers you can eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chamomile, right? We typically talk about it, dandelion, even though trying to get them out of our yard. You know, I was thinking about that this spring. I looked out in my yard, it was all these dandelions. And I decided I wasn't going to put weed killer on it because we have a garden in the yard too. Mm-hmm. But also, you know that like people in the community be like, now you need to get all those dandelions up. But we're not thinking about like the health benefits that exist with dandelion. Right. So it's all sorts of flowers that we eat or that we can consume if we choose. Yeah.
There's also dandelion tea, isn't there?
Absolutely. Yep. We include that. We put dandelion leaf and also dandelion root in some of our blends as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Continue.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Ginger mint. It's all organic blend. Family members who really love that blend because that's like a go-to for a lot of people when they think about having a sore throat, they think about a cold, or when you're thinking about like digestive issues. And so there's no tea leaf in it. Yep, it's a ginger mint. Really, strong aromatic blend, but also a cleansing, anti-inflammatory blend. So it's really a wonderful blend. We also have, it's so many of them. It's like, which one do I name? Femininity. Okay. So I'm creeping up on 50. I got 2 more years left. And that's one thing, like as the business has grown, the product line has grown in different ways because now you're thinking about, what do I need? Like I got to make some stuff. Yeah, so the femininity, several herbs that I include in that, but one is black cohosh, which can support us with our reproductive health, but also with menopause symptoms. So hot flashes, if you're also having cramps, so menopause, but also your menstrual cycle. You know, you can be on opposite ends of the spectrum, but black cohosh can be supportive in that way. Additionally, we add valerian root to this herb, which is a natural sedative. So I have a lot of people, including myself, like you're waking up in the middle of the night, you might have the hot flash, and then you can't get back to sleep. And so we include valerian root as well, which can help us get back to sleep. So that's been a really wonderful seller and just a powerful blend. It's been helpful to me and like all my sister friends really appreciate that blend.
So what did you name that one?
I call it Femininity with the T-E-A.
Oh, they get it.
Yeah, trying to be cute.
She does it, the T-E-A.
Yeah,
okay,
with the T-E-A.
That is cute.
Now, you know, you just said a minute ago, you're creeping up on 50.
Yes.
There are those of us who crept past 50 a long time ago. Is there a tea that would help me creep back toward 50? Or at least feel like it?
I would say the goodness. I would say good goodness because it's rich in those minerals and vitamins that your body needs. It's also rich in antioxidants. It's also anti-inflammatory. So you're going to be taking in something on a daily basis that can give you energy, that can help with stress, that can help you just feel better. So I would go with that one.
I'll keep that.
Yeah.
So goodness.
Good goodness, yeah.
Gives you energy and the minerals and all that you
Absolutely,
need. That's the one that you drink every day.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that works against inflammation.
Yes, because the herbs in are also anti-inflammatory. So it also supports in that way. And that's what's so beautiful about many of the herbs, like I was saying before, it's multi-purpose. And like when we look up what the traditional uses are for different herbs. They were used for a multitude of things, not just one thing. Like we might think about some of our medications, right, that we get from the doctor. Some of these natural products can serve us in a multitude of ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is there a tea that you provide with turmeric in it?
Yes, I have a turmeric tonic that we blend, a turmeric fruit tonic, and so I do mango pieces with that, pineapple, hibiscus, apple pieces, as well as with turmeric.
Wow.
And that's a really delicious blend. I feel like some of my blends are like a starter kit for people who are being introduced to herbs, because some people don't like the taste of turmeric, but when you can enjoy it with fruits, it can be more palatable. And so we include fruit with that blend. But if you prefer, because I had talked to people and they're like, they don't want fruit with their turmeric,
Right.
we can make a blend for you that would be inclusive of turmeric by itself if you prefer, or with some other herbs.
You know, it's interesting that turmeric is used around the world, but here in this country, the only thing I found it in is a mustard.
Yeah.
That's what makes mustard yellow, by the way.
Yeah.
But it is good for inflammation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps us fight inflammation. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead.
Yeah. Another thing I'll just share, since I'm here, I just want to also lift that with the teas. I always have family like supporting me. So my mom, she's always with me when I'm out at shows. I have aunts. My kids are not old enough for me to put them to work. So that's another thing about having a business, right? You get to grow and learn, and you get to create, but you also get to build and connect with family. And I feel like that about tea too. Like I was talking earlier about me drinking and my own personal reflection, but it also provides space for us to build socially and to connect. So that's why so many people have tea parties, right? It becomes this really beautiful time where you can sip on that tea, but you can also talk about your life experiences. And that's how I was introduced to tea. My grandmother used to late at night, after all the other kids had gone to sleep, I guess I'm the firstborn grandchild, so you get kind of doted on some, and so she would let me drink tea with her, and I would be able to sit up, and it wasn't anything fancy, it wasn't no fruit in it. It was black tea, Lipton black tea, and we would have sugar, sometimes honey and lemon. We was really doing it if we had honey and lemon. But we would just drink tea, and she would talk about growing up in the South, and she would talk about her dreams, and she would talk about her experiences. And it was such a beautiful way to build with her and to learn and to grow. And so I think about that aspect about tea as well. It's not only providing space for you to nourish your body. It doesn't only provide space for you to, reflect independently, but it also gives you this opportunity to connect with others.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, you, speaking of having tea with someone.
Yes.
You do tea parties?
Yes, thank you for asking. We do tea parties. We also do, so our tea parties will supply the different teas that are chosen. We just ask for opportunity to share about our business with your guests, if that's the kind of party they want to do, and then also sell products. We also have the tea bar. So sometimes we can just set up our bar, which is an assortment of different teas which people can sample, and then we, just set that up and we're out of there. So we have a lot of different ways that we can bring tea or provide tea to a client or customer, just depending upon what type of event they want to create.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
It really does. When you look at having tea with a meal, what are some of the teas that go extremely well with seafood meals?
So I'm be very honest and name. I eat fish like all the time, but I have never explored that, honestly, because I just drink in what I want to drink. Now, I will say, thinking about the Asian community and tea leaf, the Camellia sinensis plant, like I had the opportunity to go to Japan. My daughter was in school there, and so they drink a lot of green tea. with every meal, and I would imagine with, seafood and fish as well. But I'm in a space where, like, I eat what I want to eat. I like what I like. So, especially if it's good for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what you like, and if it's good for you, I say enjoy it, Yeah.
So now in Japan, do they drink green tea natural, or do they add something to it?
The green tea that I was able to enjoy there, they had not added anything to it. And it was so interesting because you know how here there's cooler with just cold drinks. They had coolers with warm drinks. So it was warm tea in a bottle. Yeah, which was so nice because we spent a lot of time walking while we were there.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be able to go into a store, and they were smaller, right? You're not getting the huge drinks that we have here. But yeah, just a nice warm bottle of tea. And I was walking around drinking green tea. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's different.
But they drink a lot of green tea there.
Oh, that's different. Wow. And they don't add any
Nothing was added to it. Yeah. Which is probably why they're so healthy, right? You're not getting all that sugar and all the preservatives, and other chemicals that we're having here. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Well, we must also remember that tea played a major role in the development of the government of this country.
That's right.
The Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
I wonder kind of tea that they push into the ocean.
Probably was black tea. I'm thinking London, England.
I bet you're right.
I've had an opportunity to go there too, and they drink a whole lot of black tea there. Yeah. And with milk though. You said you didn't like milk in your tea. That was green. Yeah, they drink milk in their black tea. And that's just a normal thing. Just like we put milk in our coffee, they put it in their tea. It's very common there.
I've never thought of putting milk in black tea. But after I had the experience with milk and green tea, I never tried it in any.
You might want to try. It's almost like a latte. Like, do you like lattes?
I haven't had that.
Okay, might have to hang out with you and let you try a green tea latte or like a black tea latte, or even rooibos. Like that's that South African herb, red bush.
Okay.
You can make lattes out of that by adding a little cream, and I wouldn't use regular milk, but like oat milk or almond milk or something like that.
Oh, now you're talking.
That's right. Yeah.
In South Africa, what kind of tea again?
Yeah, so it's not from the Camellia sinensis plant, although I have heard of teas from Africa, like Kenya has a naturally growing tea there as well. But the tea that I was naming is red bush. Some people say rooibos, but they have green. They have like a brown reddish color, but that's also rich in antioxidants as well. And it has a natural sweetness to it, and it's used in a multitude of ways. So it was used to support those who might have issues with insulin. It was used to support like a colicky baby, a crying baby. It could help soothe the baby. And then it's also rich in antioxidants. So, so I love rooibos because it has a natural sweetness to it anyway. And that's really yummy with the little milk added to it, making a latte out of that. That's real good too. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Now, for the ladies who have, we talked about that, hot flashes.
Yes.
I need you to repeat that again.
Sure. So, I actually began experiencing that for myself, and it would be like in the middle of the night. You get up, you're hot, and then I couldn't go back to sleep, and so I just started doing some research, and so the tea that I've created we call Femininity, TEA at the end. And although there are several things that I put in it, but the most predominant herb is black cohosh, and black cohosh has been traditionally used to support like the reproductive health of women, so or thinking about our reproductive organs. And so it has helped with hot flashes. It helps with other symptoms related, bloating and so forth, related to what you might be going through when you have your menses, as well as cramps. It helps with cramps. So I can drink it, and also my 16 and my 14-year-old can also drink it. In addition, in that blend, we also added valerian root, again, which is a natural sedative, so it can help you relax as you might be experiencing any pain, or if you, like me, were waking up in the middle of the night, it can help you get back to sleep and stay, sleep, so you can enjoy that restful time.
Are there any teas that you shouldn't give a child at, I don't know, whatever age, 4, 10, 12?
I'm sure that there are some things like, for example, kava root. And I don't have a blend with that anymore, but kava root is a herb that originates from like Polynesian islands. They would make almost like a beer out of it. But it can be, people use it here as like a relaxant. And so someone might argue that you shouldn't give kava root to children, and I would argue that there may even be in the United States some restrictions, like when you purchase it, there may be some restrictions named around it, but possibly in the Polynesian, they might give it to their babies. I don't know. So I would just offer that anything you choose to give, that you think about moderation. So there are some things like fruits, vegetables we're going to eat every day, and I feel like most of the herbs are similar to that. But if you have any concerns, you're taking other medicines, I would definitely consult a doctor, and I would do my own research. So,
Wow. We just move right along. We are coming to the end of our interview, but I need you to let people know how to get in touch with you. And if there's someone who does not have access to a computer, if you allow them to call and get directions or ways of ordering the product.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, I meet at grocery stores and all sorts of places. So I want to thank you all again for having me. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Sharisha Johnson. My business is Herbal Serenity. You can contact us again online at herbalserenity.com, HERBALSERENITEA.com, and then you can also give us a call. We'll create a blend for you. If you just want to order something online, maybe we'll meet you at the Myers if you want to pick it up, however you want to do it. But you can also call us, or if you're interested in a tea party, our number is 248-842-5462. 248-842-5462.
Okay. That was very, very interesting. And we have to take our top of the hour break, pause for the calls, and we will be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chin and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, Don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Jim!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broten.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback.
And take us along with you. We really have been enjoying our guest this morning. And the information on the teas, that was very enlightening. And I want you to know that this coming Friday, Hood Research is hosting an ice cream social for Barton McFarland Neighborhood Block Club Association. And there's no charge for the ice cream social. We will have vendors there, and I'm hoping that our guest will be a vendor on this coming Friday as well. And the time is from 6 p.m. until 9. And we are expecting to have a lot of fun. We're going to have comedians there, and some celebrities have been invited to come as well. And we're hoping that you will join us too. The location of the event is the Montford Marines Center. The address of the Montford Marine Center is 13721 Joy Road. Again, the address is 13721 Joy Road. It's just past Schaefer. That center that the Montford Marines have is available to those who want to have a birthday party, a wedding, reception, bereavement, and other events that can be had at that location. We encourage you to support our Marines. You know, all of our military men have put their lives on the line for our safety, and we just support them as often as we can to let them know how much we appreciate what they've done for us. Al.
And you know, Theo, I think, and you know this well, if we could share a little bit of the history of the Mumford Point Marines, an all-black regiment that was authorized under, I think it was President Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Correct. Well, what happened, this was about around 1941. Some of the mega type folks went and said, we don't want those ends on the battlefield with us. You know, I guess they just wanted to be targets. And so President Franklin Roosevelt didn't have a problem with him. He just went about his business of organizing barracks and platoons and all that was necessary for the Montford Marines, which he named them. And they had their own units, their own everything. And they went on about their business of supporting and protecting each other. And they still exist today. And we, in our community, support them as often as much as we can. And, you know, I knew that we had the Buffalo Soldiers, and they have a little museum on Joy Road and Outer Drive. And they, prior to the pandemic, brought horses out, and the children could go and experience that and go to the museum. And then I learned later, or I should say more recently, that the Montford Marines on the same street. What is it with Joy Road? You know? But anyway, they are there, and they ask that members of the community come out and make arrangements to use their facilities, or come on a Friday, and their meals are not very expensive. They have fish, perch, whiting, catfish, shrimp, and then they also have a chicken dinner. They have veggie burgers and turkey burgers, and it's a good opportunity to meet them, to thank them for their service, and we do encourage people to do that. In the meantime, we are hosting an ice cream social this Friday, September the 8th, from 6 p.m. to 9. Come out, enjoy. There's no admission fee, and enjoy some of the comedy and camaraderie, meet neighbors. And one of the things that we do need in this city is working together, learning about what's going on throughout our communities, and move from there, and just know that if nobody ever told you, politics affects your daily life. Local politics is extremely important for you to learn about. It's always good to participate. Become a precinct delegate, run for office, but you got to know about it because it does affect what happened to you. And as James Ford, who called in earlier, was sharing, this red light abuse has to be corrected. Has to be. We'll have more and more people getting hurt and getting killed by that. It's just an abuse, And I think that we should have had driver's training put back into the schools.
Into the schools, absolutely.
I think that made a big difference.
Theo, when you mention things of that nature, you are right on target. There are many areas of a learning curriculum that have been wiped out, and that means that we are a little less educated today than we were years ago. And moving into the future, you would not anticipate being less educated. You would anticipate being more. But for some reason, there seems to be a movement going on governing our educational system across the country, and particularly as it relates to African Americans and the contribution that we have made to this country and this society.
Yes.
You mentioned the Mumford Marines. History has recorded many of the battles where this black regiment, during World War II, was very successful in that combat area, along with, along with the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh, yes.
Who flew combat support missions for our country. And for people today to not know about that contribution, I think is utterly unacceptable.
And to hear that the governor of Florida is removing books from the libraries, and he's just doing some of the dumbest stuff. But, you know, mentioning our history, we had a guest on some months ago, and they have created flashcards with Black history on it.
Yes.
Just something to make it fun. Want to check out one or two of those, because it's a great idea to be able to have the history, to make it fun, to let people know, and to let our people know all that we have accomplished. And I guess one of the reasons that the governor of Florida and some other governors, I think Texas is having the same challenge, to eliminate our history out of the libraries and just turn the library buildings into detention centers. That's unacceptable. And we just have to let our people know that's unacceptable. We cannot go with that.
Theo, you are absolutely correct. It is unacceptable. And this is a deck of cards, and it explains an awful lot. It's called Black History Flashcards. And I just pulled one up here. John Henry Thompson, 1959 to the present, inventor and computer programmer.
Oh.
Through working at a New York research facility, Thompson was able to teach himself several computer program languages.
Taught himself.
Taught himself.
Okay.
Thompson wanted to learn as many computer program languages as possible so he could one day create his own computer language.
Wow.
And then there's considerable information concerning Mr. Thompson. Here's another one that will be interesting to a number of our viewers. This is the Black History flashcard on Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
August 29th, 1958 to June 25th, 2009.
Okay.
Michael shared lead vocals at 7 years of age in the family band known as the Jackson 5.
Oh, wow. And you know, these cards can be purchased at Target department store. Target carries them. I was very glad to hear that that store has them. Of course, they have a website, I'm sure, but Target is where they're available. And it's a nice way to get the family involved, and you know, if you have family reunions, picnics, etc. Or you can even use them at the tea party, Serenity.
Correct. Correct.
We've just had a guest to come in for the last part of the show, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back momentarily.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody, settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be to get out on this one. Twist a little turn. Ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome our first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Our wooden woman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
All right, and we are back. And we have our guest, Russell Bellant, the former president of the Detroit Public School.
Detroit Library.
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? I was connected because they do the appointing. Anyway, former president of the Library Commission, and he has a mission right now that we want him to tell us about.
Thank you, Theo. It's good to be back with you and Al.
Right in the airport.
We've been doing research on a practice called tax captures, which very few people know about. Now, I'm sure some of your viewers have heard of it, but 99% of the people, literally, and it's not just my opinion, 99% of the people do not know about tax captures. And they're practiced in Detroit, and they're practiced in other cities as well in Michigan. But tax captures are where people pay their property taxes, it gets into the city bank account, and that a cut is taken out of that and put into another fund to give to what they call developers, what I call moneyed interest downtown. And I have just compiled a list of the tax captures that have been executed in the last 9 years from 2014 to 2022. We're still waiting for data for fiscal year 23, which ended June 30th. And in the last 9 fiscal years, Mayor Duggan has taken $442 million of our property taxes away from our libraries, away from our schools, away from the special needs children, away from our parks, away from the city debt, away from the city general fund, away from the school operating budget, and from the school debt payment fund. And it hit our schools for $150 million. And when you're taking 19% of the library's money, and you're crippling our schools, you're doing this in the midst of the greatest literacy crisis probably in Detroit history.
Right.
And you don't care. And it's going to be higher this year. When I get the data, this will be the highest year ever. And I wouldn't know about tax captures if I had not served on the Library Commission. It's that well managed, a secret. And there's no place you can go on the city website or even Google the world and say Detroit tax captures and get anything other than a resolution that City Council adopted to oppose tax captures on the libraries and the schools, which they sent to the legislature, which has not been acted on. Now, this is being done under a state law. So people say, well, is it legal? There's some legality around tax captures. They never put caps on it, but nobody who wrote these laws thought that you'd get a mayor taking 19% of millage money from the library because they figured the mayor would lose their job. But if the people don't know what's going on, they keep their job.
They can't help him lose their
So
job.
our job is our task as Detroiters for Tax Justice, as we say here, is to inform the public, because an informed public will not tolerate this abuse.
Right. Okay, briefly, what is a tax capture?
Tax capture is the term used to take a cut of property taxes. So what the administration does through various agencies, Downtown Development Authority and so forth, these Downtown Development Authority, Brownfield Authority, they operate under the complete control of the mayor. And they look at each millage and look at projects that they want to fund and say, well, let's take X amount from this millage and this millage and this millage and this millage, and they add it on. And an important thing I didn't mention is when they take this, they tie it to financing for big projects downtown, and the libraries or the schools are bonded to that project for the length of the financing, which can be 20 to 30 years.
Oh, good.
So when we say this, it isn't like next year they can stop doing all this legally, because they are paying the financing for all these projects. And, I mean, that's perverse. Remember, this country was built when, a lot of the development of this country was done when investors went to banks to get loans.
That's correct.
Now they say, hey, we got a law where we can steal public money, do it on the QT. Now, the fact that money is being given to the Illiches, $616 million through the Brownfield Authority, is not a secret. That's well known, but people don't know where the $616 million is coming from. And so that's part of our responsibility to tell people.
And
Russ.
one other thing is the word millage is a tax, same as a tax. Go ahead, Al.
Theo, you hit on the point that I was going to ask, and that is, I'm I'm very much concerned, Russ, in that I vote for a millage. And I am voting because I believe that all of those dollars are going to go for a specific purpose. Libraries, as you said, education, general fund.
Yes, sir.
Which provides general services to the residents of our city.
Yes.
But I am voting believing that my tax all will go for that particular purpose. What the tax capture does is to divert that.
Correct.
So I am not getting that for which I voted.
That's correct. It's very anti-democratic. It subverts the will of the people. And when Detroiters renewed the property tax for the Detroit Public Library for a 10-year period back in 2014, there was on the ballot language that said that it may be tax captured up to 5% of the millage. And we put that on the advice of a special counsel. We didn't want them tax capturing us at all, but we put that on there. But the city takes the position that just because the voters approve that doesn't mean we have to abide by it. That's what they actually think. So now they're tripling what the voters approved. They're taking 3 times as much on the millage, and 15% of what the library's millage is tax capture. Another 4% is being taken for a fee that the city refuses to explain the purposes of.
Is there an opportunity for a lawsuit? You saying we gave permission for 5%, and they're going to disregard what we voted on? What was that law?
There's always a possibility, but it's going to be up for renewal next year, the library's millage. And so I think at that time, we in the campaign next year, we've got to put I think more binding language, clearly binding language on the city, and prepare for action if they don't. Because I think at this point in the last year of this current millage, by the time it went through the courts, it would be a dead letter.
Wow. What was the law? They have no rights that we are bound to respect.
I know exactly what you.
I'm just. It just sounds like a repeat of that same thing. They have no rights that we are bound to respect. Yes, I can't think of it right now. But
Theo, you're right on subject, because when the taxpayer believes that they are giving up dollars for a specific purpose, and then that purpose only receives a portion of what they voted for it, there seems to be something totally unacceptable and undemocratic to me about that process.
And illegal. That's why I was asking about a lawsuit. That's just ooh.
See, there's a state law that allows this, and they did, like I said, they did not put caps on how much a city could take. But what's illegal is to keep it secret.
Wow, Russ, tell us how people can get in touch with you.
Sure.
To give support.
Sure. The quick way is to call 313-368-2148.
Again.
368-2148. And, you can discuss being involved or getting information, whatever level you want. 368-2148. Thank you.
Definitely. Oh, you're certainly welcome. And thanks for coming in this morning to let us know about this.
Now, Theo, if I may, right quick, Russ, you have an appearance, I think, tomorrow morning before City Council on this issue?
Yes. We're going to report to City Council our tabulations. As far as any of us know, there has never been anyone in the city who's researched and added up these numbers before. So we're going to report that to City Council.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you, Theo.
And the City Council meeting is at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And you can also listen to it on the phone or on Comcast Xfinity cable if you have that, Channel 10.
Yes, and you can also call in through Zoom and make public comment.
Right.
We're hoping people can join us at the City Council tomorrow.
Right. Yeah,
we'll have a T-shirt like this if you show up.
All right now. And as I say at the end of our program, it is not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. We at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to share with you and encourage you to share with us. To reach Hood Research, the number is area code 248-234-2371. Again, area code 248-234-2371. Contact at hoodresearch.org. That's our email. Again, CONTACT @ HOODRESEARCH.org. And we hope that you will stay in touch. We're here each Monday, 9 a.m. until 10:30. And we're looking forward to you contacting, spending time, and joining Hood Research. Al, you have a last word to say?
Theo, I just want us in Detroit to get involved in our governing process.
All right.
Amen.
And thank you, Russ, for being with us today. All of you tune in again next Monday. Peace.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.